Hey everybody, it's Pastor Doug Zirkle from Mission of Grace in Hayden, Colorado, and I got some more good news for you today. We're going to go through Psalms 121. Psalm 121. And we're going to have a little fun with it. Let's just see if there's some things we can notice in this scripture by not just blowing through it quickly, but by just sort of analyzing it a little bit. First of all, it says, I lift my eyes to the mountain. Where does my help come from? Okay, well, let's think about this a minute. I lift my eyes. A lot of times we look up to the mountains. That's where the help comes from. Okay, here's the deal. Anytime somebody's low, they're down and out, they've kind of come to the end of the line, so to speak, whether it's financially, relationally, whatever, they've just sort of hit rock bottom. Of course, you're going to look up. You're going to look up. And sometimes we're desperate enough to look up and say, where's my help going to come from? What am I going to do now? What kind of mess have I gotten myself into this time? So we look up and we cry out, where does my help come from? It's a question. Where does it come from? Verse 2 says, my help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. So our help comes from God. I mean, there's a lot of ways we can pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and there's a lot of things we can do to help ourselves, but sometimes we're so spiritually drenched. We're so spiritually overwhelmed. There's not a lot of places to go but to the heartbeat of God. God is my help. I'm looking up to you, God. I'm asking for your help. God, I don't know where my help's going to come from. Would you please help me? A lot of times when you get that sensation that you're about to go off the cliff or maybe the plane's about to go down, it seems like everybody says, oh God, in one breath they're saying, God, help me. You're the only hope I have. I'm desperate for you. I'm crying out to you. I'm looking up to you, God. Help me. My help, like I said in verse 2, comes from the maker of heaven and earth. It's not like we're just pleading out with wishful thinking, like we're crying out to a genie in a bottle. We're crying out to the creator of heaven and earth. He hears us. He hears your cry. If you're going under, if you're desperate, if you're down, you're out, cry out to God. That's where our help comes from. Verse 3, he will not let your foot slip. Notice he didn't say he'll bargain with you and negotiate you and finally talk you into doing right. He comes to your rescue, and it says he will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Okay, three interesting things there. One, your foot. You're crying, looking up. You're using your eyes. You're trying to look up, and God's going to cover you all the way down to your feet. Your feet aren't even going to slip. If you trust him, if you rely on him, if you let him help you, he's got you from head to toe. And then he says he watches over you. He will not slumber. Slumber means he's not going to take a rest, a break. He's got you. Once God's going to help you, he's in all the way. And he watches over you. We live in a time and day where I think people feel abandoned, alone, fearful. Got to remember, God is watching. He's watching over you. Verse 4, indeed, he who watches, that's twice, watches over Israel, he will neither slumber nor sleep. Israel is the representation of when God possesses something. He possesses your heart. If you give him your life, if you say, God, help me, I surrender, help me, I need your help, he's got you head to toe. He's got all of you. Second time he says, he will watch over you. That's a promise. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. Oh, we've got the head to toe, and now we've got the right hand. He's watching over all of us. It's like shade to your soul. It's a place of rest, a place of comfort. Once God begins to cover you, you're covered. Okay, well, that's enough for right now. I'll finish this Psalms 21 next time around. I do want to make a quick announcement real quick, and that is if you're wanting to give, you need to go to Mission of Grace Hayden, which is our Facebook page, I guess. Mission of Grace Hayden.
Website.
It's our website. missionofgracehayden.com/giving. And that way you'll be able to give online. Thank you guys for your time. God bless you. I'll be live streaming Sunday. We will not be having church. We will not be having church. There's reasons why, but I'll be live streaming Sunday. God bless you. Talk to you then.